Hello friends, myself Shriram. We will now see some more examples so that we learn more of programming. So let's take a simple example. Let us say that a person named Rahul has a basic pay and now that basic pay will be input through the keyboard. And other given information is his dearness allowance or DA is say 35% of the basic and house rent allowance is say 25% of the basic. Now we need to calculate gross salary. That means we are supposed to write a program which will calculate gross salary. So to do that, now let's open Visual Studio Code and then we will basically work on it. So let me just type here DEVELOPER. So you will see this is the Visual Studio 2019, that is the command prompt that you get, and then you basically just click on it, it opens. Then you can go to your folder wherever you basically have programs. So I'll go to my this one folder and then here I'll go to STEM projects and then I have this VS Code projects. So now I'm going to start Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code is starting and here now I can just go to Visual Studio Code projects and I can say new file and we can have a gross salary calculation. So we will just say gross sal calculation. So I'll just name the file as gross salary dot gross sal dot c. So now as we normally do, so I will include stdr.h. So that I have done, and then in the program we are supposed to write the question or the problem that has been given to us. So now we know that basically, so let me just show you the problem. So here we know that basic is input through the keyboard and DA is 35% of the basic and HRA is 25%. So let me just keep it here so that we know what we want to basically do here. So DA is 35% of basic. So now we will basically define the variables. So we will rather declare the variable. So I will just say int salary or bsal, that is the basic salary, and I will initialize it to 0. Now the reason to take it integer is, yes, I can take float also, but the reason is normally the basic of a person is a whole number, like he will have a basic of say 50,000 Indian rupees per month salary, something like that. So 10,000 per month instead of just saying 50,000 dot 5 or something. So it hardly matters. So that's the reason basically basic is always a integer, I will put it for the time being. However, you can always make it float, no issues. Then we require to calculate DA. So I will just define a variable and obviously this can be float. Why? Because you are going to have 35% of the basic, so it can become a decimal number. So I will have DA as this one and then HRA also to be a float. And then obviously we have to calculate total or a gross salary. So I will just say GSAL. So GSAL is basically for the gross salary and VSAL is for the basic salary. So here this is a basic pay or basic salary, and then this is gross salary. Now if we want to do this, then it's very easy. We can simply have DA is equal to 0.35 multiplied by BSAL. So that we can just do. Similarly, we can have HRA is equal to 0.25 multiplied by BSAL. So this is like computation of DA and BSAL. However, we currently do not have what is the basic. So we need to first tell user to input this one, input the basic salary. So we will ask user to enter basic pay, and then obviously we will need to get that input by doing scanf, and then we will just do it bsal. So now I got this basic salary, I got basically the DA and HRA computation which I already wrote. Now the job is we need to compute GSAL or gross salary. So GSAL is what, it's a sum of all. That means first is it's a sum of basic, obviously basic salary is the basic input to him. Then on the top of it you are going to compute DA which is 0.35 or 35%. So we will have DA plus HRA which is 25%. So it's a sum of everything. Gross salary is sum of all the things. So it's a sum of all components. Components means basic plus DA plus HRA. So that is what basically we have written. And now we simply have to just put printf, and then we can simply say here percentage F. Before that we can have gross sal. We can give a nice this one message, and if and then comma we can just say GSAL. So now let's run this code. I hope there are no typing issues. So we can execute this code. Yeah, so it is asking us to enter basic pay. So let's enter, say basic pay is say 30,000 Indian rupees. I'm just putting 30,000 Indian rupees. So his salary will be 48,000.0 obviously. Why? Because you can, and if you want to check it, you can simply do the checking by opening a calculator, and you can basically do it here by doing 0.35 and then 0.25 and some of that. Okay, so that's the way typically you will do. Then we can take another problem or another example. So let's see this. So I want to basically get a Fahrenheit from the centigrade temperature. So to do that, obviously it's very easy. We need to write this program, and we need to basically have an equation which will convert temperature in centigrade to Fahrenheit. So we can do that. So for that I will once again create a new file, and I will say temp conversion. So I have this temp conversion file, and then basically I will just put here the problem that we want to solve, that is temperature is an input in centigrade and we want to write a program to obtain Fahrenheit. Okay, so I will just simply copy a few things which are ready made so that I don't have to keep on typing this. Okay, so now here obviously we will have to ask user to enter temperature in centigrade. So we will say printf enter temperature in centigrade. So now that means I need to have variables which will be defined. So here the variable will be float, and I will have centi for centigrade, CENTI, and another will be Fahrenheit. Okay, so we will have here Fahrenheit. So FAH is the Fahrenheit name of the variable. Now obviously we will have to do scanf, and in the scanf we will just say percentage %f, that is for float, and then ampersand centi. And now what is the equation? The equation is whatever the input is with respect to centigrade, we need to basically multiply it with 9 by 5, that means 1.8, and then you need to add 30 to it. So you can get Fahrenheit. It's very simple formula which we must have studied in our school days. So Fahrenheit is equal to centigrade into 1.8 or some people can do it like 9 by 5. Some people do it 9 by 5, which is same as 1.8. Okay, and then into, so here we can simply say 9.5 or 9 divided by 5, or I can simply say 1.8, and then I have to add plus 32 to it. So here I will just put a comment. 9 by 5, basically 1.8, is equal to 9 divided by 5, and this is FAH, Fahrenheit. Okay, now we are supposed to print it, so obviously we will print here printf, and then in the quotes you can say Fahrenheit. I'll just FAHR, I'll just put this one short form, and then percentage F, and we can have FAH. So let's execute this now. Yeah, so it is saying, okay, there is a mistake. Enter temperature in centigrade, En. So N, I lost it anyway. So we can say for the timing I will enter say 25 degrees or normal room temperature we say. So it is equivalent to 77 in Fahrenheit. Okay. Suppose if there is very hot, like the way in which currently in India when I am recording, if it is too hot, then I can simply give the temperature which is currently going on. So let me just do that and run it so that I can check. So currently it's going on around 44-45 degrees. So yeah, so that's correct. So it is around 113 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, and plus there is a humidity also. So it is a pretty high temperature with respect to the current environment that we have in India currently. So that's the way typically these two problems can be solved. More problems can be tried as part of learning. However, these are two samples. Some more additional problems which are provided so that it will help you to learn. I hope you like this video. Thank you.